All right, we'll see if this lasts the whole time.
We'll see.
So with Summerstein, last time I don't want to say anything, but last time I had a Jewish person on, it didn't work.
And it didn't work? They're listening.
That's all I'm saying. Well, hopefully, someone signed me at this point. God damn.
And they were like, we got to shut this down. Shut down the whole Zoom.
Yeah, they didn't like it. They don't like that the individuals have power now.
No.
These talent agencies.
Are the Jews? No, I was thinking of Scientologists. They're not the ones where you leave and then they fuck with you if you leave, right? Isn't that Scientology?
That is Scientology. Not many people leave the Jews.
That's true.
That's a pretty.
Is it because
once you're in, you're in.
I get, yeah.
They don't take a lot of applications either.
No, I hear that. It's hard to get in.
It's hard to get in.
It's hard to get in. But I wonder if it's like, you think it's harder as a guy or a girl to get in to the Jews?
Is that how it works?
I don't know. Well, because I know, like, if your mom's Jewish, that, like, holds more weight, right? Because if your mom's Jewish, then that means and then she has a kid, that means that the kid is Jewish. Like if the dad was Jewish and the mom, so essentially, if my math is correct, if they let in women, if they like let a woman into the club and now she's Jewish, she has the potential then to make more Jews. So it's like,
yeah, but also that would mean like, wouldn't a non-Jewish woman be less Jewish than a non-Jewish man?
A non-Jewish woman.
Because like even if you pay the fee, you say the rhythm, the rhymes, whatever they make you do, say whatever.
The initiation.
By blood, you're still not Jewish, I guess.
Sure, I feel like a woman who gets brought into the club definitely not as Jewish as. I got to see a flow chart. I think that's what we need.
Yeah, let's whiteboard this out.
Someone work up a chart.
At least not until 10 minutes in, until the algorithm doesn't. Did you guys make a Jew chart?
You guys made a Jew chart of who's actually Jewish?
Makes it easier to figure out.
Yeah, I think ultimate is like a woman born Jewish who can then make other.
Right.
Someone who didn't have to take like a test or something.
But is that how it works? Test? Is it like citizenship?
It's you probably got to answer a question. You got to know your. I would guess.
My
I think
dad converted
to Judaism.
Oh no! Oh boy, no!
I would have been like, "This surprises me about you."
Would that be shocking?
Like,
believe it or not, Islam.
Yeah. Man.
No, Russian Orthodox.
Okay.
But he's like, yeah, you just had to pay, and then you had to do a baptism, which is just like in an inflatable pool.
You had to give money.
Yeah.
Ironically, that sounds more Jewish.
I mean, they are the oldest religion. They really made the blueprint of this.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it's weird that you could just, you pay and then now you're in the club, I guess. Is the goal to get more, or is it to keep it exclusive? Like what's the
other religions want to grow? Judaism really seems like they're like, we are, but they're also like its own group of people.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic question.
It's a weird, and there's also different like parts of, there's like, I don't know if regular's the word, but like they're like the non-Orthodox Jews. I don't know what you call those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you got the ones in Brooklyn.
Not agnostic? There's a word.
Agnostic.
That we are not aware of.
It's not agnostic Jews. It's definitely not. Agnostic
means agnostic. Like you're Jewish by blood, but you're agnostic.
Sure.
Like
well, that's the other thing with Jews is you could be like ethnically Jewish, but not religious.
Right.
There's no ethnic like
Christian. Italians, maybe? I mean, that's the closest you're going to get.
Yeah.
Greeks. The whole Mediterranean.
Yeah, I guess.
Isn't that funny?
But nobody...
The whole Mediterranean. They not big into religion, but boy, do they really identify with the culture.
Sure. Yeah.
Israel. The
other one.
Greeks. Italians. Sicilians.
Yeah. They all rock
Algeria.
Cross, right?
Algeria's Muslim, I think. Call us in.
Yeah, this is so beyond my scope of knowledge. Religion. Did you grow up religious?
Like decently religious.
Like you went to church?
Oh, every Sunday.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Till when?
Mom, when 15-ish? I'd say
Okay.
like 14, 15.
Yeah.
Once it started impacting sports, like a lot.
Interesting.
Like, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, probably like
Yeah,
8th grade.
Sunday morning is probably
You got baseball, football,
that's
lacrosse.
when they meet. Yeah.
So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Be religious or be gay?
Yeah.
And we chose,
He chose gay.
or be not gay. I should have said, fuck.
Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That the kid, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, if you're in church, you can't do the local sport.
Well, then Sunday school after. Sunday school is big.
Sunday school, you got to do the church and then the school.
You do a Orthodox service. It's 3 hours long. So you hit that. We would go like an hour and a half in. We really.
Yeah, I feel like
We would mail it in. Hour and a half. Then you'd have Sunday school after for like an hour, hour and a half.
And how was that? Is that just like their teach? How's that different than the service?
Sunday school is like a bunch of kids around your age, and you're in a room with an old Russian lady. And we kind of just go over our stories of the Bible we didn't go over before. Like you
Damn.
go over the ark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal.
Pointless.
Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal. Do you think like now in like a Sunday school? Because I feel like a lot of this shit, you know, if you just there's got to be like a documentary that just can breeze over a lot of this shit. Like, do you think technology has entered into the Sunday school in any way, or is it?
Are you asking like if there's a Sunday school
Like,
app?
Like, I guess, like, just to make it less, you know, want to shoot yourself in the head. I mean, that just sounds horrible.
But how are you going to well, I get that's I've talked about this a lot to Bo Baloo, who's
Yeah.
been a big friend of the podcast.
Sure.
I think that's what like Southern churches do well. They have a youth pastor.
Right. Oh, they
Right.
got a whole system.
That's so cool.
They got
to me.
it's like a farm system.
They
you
do
know?
have a farm system.
Yeah.
They start them young.
They get like they'll you know, clock a guy who's like, you know, a kid who's like he might be a youth, might be a leader one day, you know?
They get them into the program.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like a British soccer.
Yeah, they do that. It's like Young Life or whatever.
What's that?
Young Life is, I think that's a Christian thing where it's, if my understanding is correct, it's kind of like a camp type atmosphere where you got like your counselor would be the Young Life leader, and they're like your bud, and they like make learning about Jesus fun. You play games and stuff, but the whole thing is religious. You know, I think I went with somebody.
You went?
I wasn't enrolled, but I think I went as like a friend, and it was fun. Like
you
I
were
was
at a sleepover.
It was something like that.
I've
Yeah,
done that. I've been in that.
yeah. But I mean, it was fun. You know what it kind of felt like? It felt like
Well, this you can keep talking. I'm just.
it felt like it was like a day where we played games. We had a ton of fun, and then at the end, you had to learn about Jesus. Kind of if you know, like a timeshare pitch where it's like they're gonna give you the thing, but you got to sit through a presentation
right
first. Like that's kind of how it felt. You just had to be like.
So what was the
No.
thing at the end though? So you had to sit through that. Then what was the reward?
The reward was like food and the games and the hang essentially.
But
But
it's
you
really
had-
the only thing in town to do, I guess.
Yeah, and it's one of these things that acts half as like a religious thing, and then it's a place where your parents can dump you off, which I think is a big part of
That's
it.
what most of it is.
Most things are just like, what can we just give our kids to that we don't have to be around? Because there were no parents.
Oh, I went to a free Bible camp for 3 summers.
A free Bible camp.
I went like the first day, the first year. I was like I don't know 7, 8, and I was like, Mom, this is a cult.
Yeah.
This is a cult, and she's like,
It's free.
it's free.
It's
so
free.
we're gonna go do the full week.
It's free.
You're gonna have to go do this.
Oh man, yeah. Luckily, I didn't. I think I have like an aunt and uncle, like one part of the family that's very religious, and we would go with them sometimes growing up. It was weird. It was like a church that was held in the auditorium of this high school, and we would go, and we'd sit through the thing. But the pastry spread,
Good spread.
phenomenal.
This Catholic? What are we talking?
Christian. It was called like something Crossroads Christian Church or
Some
whatever.
bullshit.
Some bullshit, but the spread phenomenal. And that's honestly, I mean, what kept me going. And I was too young to
say no.
To say no, I was dragged there. But I got the sense that my mom was not deep into this as well. She's not super religious.
It's just kind of we're killing time here.
Yeah, and I think it was like my sister's going. It's it's a way to hang out with them, and
Okay.
But there was a stark difference between our family and their family. Like when we get up and they start doing the songs, and they got the hand. They got the eyes.
One of those.
They got the eyes closed, and they're holding the arm up. Yeah.
Black church or white church?
It wasn't. It was a white church. It wasn't.
That's scary.
It wasn't that. It was.
How many tambourines were involved?
There were. It wasn't a tambourine. It's like one guy with an acoustic guitar and like his wife, and she's singing and he's singing. And he's got the guitar playing, and then maybe a very low setup drum kit in the back, and they'd play some songs.
Nervous.
Yeah, and it was they knew all the words, and we were just we didn't know shit, and we just kind of sat through it. We all just wanted the pastries.
How many times did you go?
We went pretty regularly for like a couple years when I was in like middle school age, maybe.
That's late in the game to start getting religious.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
The bug did not. Yeah, I was not bit. So I knew. I'm like, this is just not. And then I don't know. Like I feel like kids that grow up now. You discover a podcast. Like you can get almost influenced by something anti-religion as quick as your parents can expose you to religion. You know what I mean? Like if you just find Sam Harris or somebody. Who's like, you know what I mean?
What 4-year-old is finding Sam Harris?
I don't. We're all looking for somebody to. He's a smart guy. I don't know if that'd be the guy that they find, but or just they're on social media. That's a godless environment.
Well, I do think parents are push ideologies on the kids pretty early.
Yeah, I think whatever your parents are, you have a good shot of being yourself.
I saw a baby in a MAGA swimsuit on the 4th.
That is
like you shouldn't have that.
That is phenomenal. A MAGA swimsuit, dude. The merch that this guy can pump out is.
I don't even think it's him. I think there's
just
like
somebody,
drop shippers doing this now.
Right? Yeah, they're just using the brand.
Yeah,
but it all helps.
Oh,
you know
of
what
course
I mean?
It helps. Yeah, he's not stopping them.
Yeah, dude. There's a kid in my hometown who I went to, like, it's like the one kid who ended up buying a ton of guns. And
you only had one. That's pretty good.
He's got them like under the coffee table, under the desk. He's got all.
What happens if the government comes?
He's got he's ready.
Yeah, dude.
He's ready. But he's got this. I think it's an AK-47, and the magazine on the side it says MAGA zine.
That's
with
amazing.
a picture of Trump. It
doesn't.
I swear to God. There's a picture of me holding it that's in my hidden folder.
Oh yeah, good job, Taylor.
I'm like, I can't let this get out.
Just in case I'm cheating on a woman, I don't want her to know. I also know a guy who supports Trump.
Well, it looks like he's not in the photo. It's just me in the photo, and I'm like, I gotta get a picture with the magazine.
Wait, when did you run into this guy?
No, I mean we like grew up together. I know him. So
yeah,
he
but
lives
like
in my
I grew
hometown.
up with people like this too. I don't talk to them and go over to their house and hold their guns.
He's like one of the few people that I would speak to when I went home. We don't really talk much anymore.
No, just the whole guns.
Just but got deep into it. He'd like send me links of like I'm gonna pick this one up on Tuesday. He's like one of these guys.
Is he a gun show guy?
I don't know if he's a gun show guy. I think he's purchased most of them online, which is terrifying.
Concerning.
Yeah, it's concerning.
You should not be able to do that.
Yeah, but I think you can like just create an LLC for yourself, kind of out of nowhere.
I've done that.
Yeah, so
shout out taxes, dude.
Yeah, so I think he just created he made himself a small business so that it was easier for him to get an open carry, like a concealed carry permit, because he's transporting.
Okay.
Because I think he was doing, he was like selling rental properties for a while. Like that was he would like flip houses,
Okay.
So he would flip houses. So there would be times, I guess, where he's transporting cash, and that was his reasoning, I guess, for getting the concealed carry permit. Now I think he has one. So, and he's not the guy that you want to have it. He's a little unhinged.
Yeah, I don't even know him, and that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it works. I don't think you just form an LLC and then it's easier to get a gun.
Well, there are probably some other. You have to have like reason, which I go back and forth on of like whether that's constitutional. Like if the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms, why is it where you can't just like what are the stipulations that you can't get a gun? Like, because they make it like in New York, it's near impossible to
very difficult.
Near impossible to get a gun. And I remember during COVID, I could have brought a gun back with me to New York and just had it. And I probably wouldn't have had gone through the process, because as my dad would say, it's better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. That was he loved to say that, you know what I mean? As opposed to like judged by a jury as opposed to, listen, there were some flaws in
there's some things, that's fine with. Concealed carry, I don't think that's how it works.
Well, I wouldn't have, it was just to have in the house, because there was a time when, shit was popping off. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know and I thought, if I have a 9mm or something, I'll feel more safe. But the damn ex-girlfriend didn't want it in the house, and I was like, okay.
I don't understand that argument either.
What do you mean?
She doesn't want it in the house.
Yeah,
like, what do you think's going to happen?
She just felt very uncomfortable. Well, that was my argument. Yeah, I'm like, you don't have to see. You won't see it. It's not like it's going to be sitting on the coffee table. Like it's going to be in a safe, locked.
Right, it's not going to be in the shower and you're like, oh, you're making me late because the gun's in the shower.
Right, and it's like, my thing was, I would rather have it and never open it, and never need it, but if I do need it, I fucking have it,
I think your logic here, besides not wanting to go through the proper paperwork,
well, I think I wouldn't,
is correct.
I think I wouldn't have been accepted. So I was like, why even try? That was kind of my... They're like, why do you need a gun? Well, I just want one. That's not going to get you.
It depends what part of New York you're in. You go upstate, you're like, you watching fucking the news?
Maybe.
And they're like, you're damn right, get this kid a gun.
I feel like if it was that easy, then, all these people that have guns illegally, it's like, oh, just get a legal one,
Well, I learned, my dad has a few, but he's former cop, so he just had to do he had to get like 2 letters of rec, I think, and he was good. But my ex's dad went to gun shows and would just buy like 10 guns at a time, which is too many guns to buy at a time.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking of it, the gun, it was a handgun, and this guy in our town, he was a friend of my dad, he made guns. So he would
made guns.
He made guns. So he would like order all the shit and he could build you a gun. And that's what he built a gun for my dad. So I couldn't have registered it because there were like no serial numbers on it.
Right.
So it's just a no number, nameless, faceless gun, which they really don't like that.
They don't like those.
They really don't like those at all.
What do you mean when you say you buy the parts and give it to them?
Like
what parts?
I think you can, all the shit separate. I think you can buy online. Most people just don't know how to make, because there's a lot of, you got to have like the rods and shit. You got to, I don't know.
Very complicated.
I've been in this guy's basement and he's got like a fucking set. It looks like a woodworking setup, but it's only for guns. This guy made his own guns. He made his own ammo. He would shoot, he would shoot guns, and then the casings that pop out, he would save those, refill them with like gunpowder and shit to like save money, and he'd like make the bullet again. Like one of these guys.
As a gun hobbyist, I understand why you do that. In practicality, I don't think reusable bullets are the smartest way to go here.
I mean, maybe not, but I mean, he knows probably, aside from my brother, more than anybody I know, like, that knows about guns. This guy was super he would say shit to me. I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck you're saying, but like the look in his eye, and I'm like,
I better just say yes.
I'm like, I trust you. And it is cool. Like, guns are cool.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Have you ever shot them?
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much power. I don't like having that much power in my hands.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a lot of power. It can be scary, like, especially, shotguns and shit.
Yeah.
And I think it safety was so, like, beat into me by my brother, because, like, that's pretty much every time I've shot a gun I was with him.
Very ironic sentence. Security was beat into me.
He just beat the shit out of me with safety. Yeah, so, like, I was taught to respect that it is a powerful fucking weapon, But I think as long as you follow all the steps and shit, you're gonna be okay. But it is a lot of power, and I think part of why my ex didn't want one in the house is, like, I don't know. Your chances of doing something stupid do go up if there's
you think? I grew up with them in the house.
Yeah.
You just never saw them. I also was like, why am I gonna get it?
Yeah, but I could see myself wanting to, like, let me just take it out and look at it.
That's a problem.
let me just fucking, you know what I mean? Like, in the mirror or something.
Yeah. She's like, I'm afraid you're gonna shoot yourself while taking pictures with it one night.
That'd be a lot. It'd be hard. Also, it'd be very difficult to not tell people about it, which I think is where that would get me in trouble. Like, if I had a gun, it's a matter of time before, like, my friends know I have a gun, I think.
Okay.
Because it's cool.
But even then, why does it matter?
Why
you don't want it to get into the wrong person's ears.
Yeah. Because some of these people out here, in New York, they're a little...
Yeah.
I don't need a knock at my door, some anonymous tip of, like, this guy's got a gun, it's illegal, and,
No serial number.
Right. Then I have one meltdown on stage, I have one bad set, and I'm start freaking out, like, this guy's going to shoot up.
That's why guns are hard to get in New York. Too many open micers.
Yeah. There's been some open mics where I'm like, I'm glad guns are hard to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Most.
Yeah. I'm glad they're hard to... Yeah, I don't know, but I probably won't get the time is come and gone.
You don't have the itch anymore.
I don't have the itch, and I haven't had one for a while. I mean, I have shit in my apartment. I have one of those, like, those batons where you, like, and it comes out.
Yeah, and it comes out.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I got one of those, and those hurt like a motherfucker.
I never got hit with one, but
they hurt like hell. Like, and that's, I guess, if somebody's trying to break in or do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have 2 sets of brass knuckles. What am I gonna do with them?
2 sets of brass.
2 sets.
What? How many are in a set?
Well, they're just 2 different brass knuckles. One's like a little bit thinner than the other one. It's part of the inheritance. And
what's the brass knuckles?
They were my dad's.
You inherited brass knuckles?
They were my dad. I mean, it wasn't in, like, the will, but they were my dad's, and I took them. But that's like a last resort. Brass knuckles. It's like cartoonish almost.
It is cartoon. Yeah,
it's very.
It'd be better, like, if as a prop than anything.
Yeah, and they don't totally fit my hand. I'd probably
if I fitted for brass knuckles. That might be a dumb
I think
question.
I think you can get, like, I'd probably need, like, a smaller set. I have smaller hands, but these you put them on and they're so big and they're too spread out where if I hit somebody, I'd probably end up breaking my hand. I mean, their jaw would break, but I'd probably also fuck my hand up. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I didn't know people were having weapons in their apartment in New York City.
I mean, I guess, people probably got, like, a baseball bat in the corner or something by the bed. Something.
That's cartoonish.
A baseball bat?
Yeah, a baseball bat by the bed?
Yeah. Well, I've told you what I grew up with in my dad's house. The thing, he called it the Equalizer. It sat on our wall. It was a broomstick. He called it the Equalizer, because it was a broomstick, the back end of a broomstick. So he broke it off, and then there was like a duct-taped handle on it, and then there were nails sticking out of the top, and it literally just sat on our wall right by the front door. So you could answer the front. You could have the door open, answer the front door. You could have one hand on it without them seeing, just in case. And that was back when my dad was dealing with some shady people. You didn't know who was coming to the door. But growing up, I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Friends come over. I'm like, look at you want to hold the Equalizer?
You walk into their house. You're like, Mrs. Johnson, where's your Equalizer?
Yeah, where's your weapon that's displayed on the wall?
In my family, we were old-fashioned where we looked out the window and said, we're not going to answer the door. We're just not going to do that.
That was definitely an option, but...
Wait, so it's a brooms... I also, just by what you're saying, it doesn't sound that effective.
No, it was like it may not have been a broomstick. Picture just like a wooden... like staff, like a wooden rod, and then
with one nail in it.
No, like a couple on each side. So it's all around there are nails.
Okay.
So any side you get hit, it's night.
It's doing some damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just didn't have a wooden baseball bat around, or?
I guess that's not. I mean, visually, it's terrifying. Like it looks like something out of
like a. One of those plows. I don't know
right.
if my dad had one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It looks like something out of like a horror film. So I think most of it is for show, to scare somebody off. Like, don't fuck with me. Even
though it's inside the house.
Yeah, but I think if someone's coming to the house, hey man, what's the fucking whatever they're Yeah,
they start to, and your dad's like, oh yeah, you want to talk shit? Why don't you take 4 steps in and look to the right?
Well, then you just have it in your hand, and then it's like, whoa, Jesus, a lot of, but it's all for show to stop somebody from doing something. I mean, on our garage door, there was a sign that said like go away. No, that was spray painted on our driveway. It said,
"Oh, we know your history with spray paint."
Yeah, spray paint. Big spray paint family on our driveway. It said, "Go away," and then
on your driveway,
it's spray painted, "Go away."
In the front.
In the front, like how there's the driveway and then there's like the little lip.
I've seen a driveway.
The lip said, "Go away."
Okay.
Like the Grinch's house.
That increased property value, I assume.
Oh, yeah. The neighbors loved us.
Yeah.
The neighbors loved us. And then on the front door, he hung a pair of handcuffs. I don't know what that was supposed to do.
How much was hanging by your front door?
There was a lot of... that was on the outside. So, if you went up to the front door, there were handcuffs.
The handcuffs were on the outside?
On the outside.
You had a pair of handcuffs hanging outside your front door.
Outside the front door.
But for what purpose?
Just you're walking by that and you're like, maybe not this house. Maybe we'll get the next house or whatever. I would
think it's some swingers thing.
I think maybe. Yeah. They weren't like fuzzy. They were real. I think part of it was also to fuck with our neighbors. Our neighbors hated us. And I didn't know how much.
I wonder why.
I didn't know how much, growing up. And he would blare music. There was the neighbor in the back of our house called the cops on us, all the time for blaring music. And one night, my dad, on his own, he filled up a bunch of balloons with paint and rode his bike around the neighborhood and then past their house and just fucking threw paint balloons, I guess, into their driveway or their car or something. I don't know. I didn't know about this, but I just remember going to the house and there was Exhibit A. His bike, it had paint spilled on the handlebars, and I was like, "Oh, what happened here?" And I forget what he said, but obviously he didn't tell me the truth at that point. But
he was like, "I threw fucking paint balloons at the Johnson residence."
Yeah. But then I found out later. But yeah, hated us.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But
I wonder why. Where did the Equalizer go in the inheritance? Where's that at?
I don't know if that made when he sold that house. I don't know if it ever made the move, because at that point, the Equalizer was pre-gun, and then my dad, and then
So
he had
a gun. How many guns?
2 or 3. There was a shotgun under the bed, ready to go.
His bed.
His bed, ready to go.
Okay.
So like, the way the house was, it's like, upstairs, the master bedroom. You peek around the stairwell, you can see the front door. So like, someone's right there, and then it had a flashlight extension on the end of it, so you could just like hit it was like a high beam flashlight, so they get
attached to the gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so you could just see, and then goodbye. And the shotgun was there because that's like, it can hit a lot of shit. You don't have to be super accurate.
It's the gun version of the Equalizer.
Exactly.
Right.
So like 2 a.m., you don't have to worry about being super accurate or whatever. And then he had a handgun that he mainly just took to like the range and stuff. But there was this like special, it was like a dummy practice bullet where you put it in the chamber, and when the back end would, like, the firing pin would hit the bullet, it shot out like a laser. So you like have a bullet in there, you shoot, and you can see how accurate your shot was.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was like a practice thing. So that sat around our house for quite a while. So you'd just be like popping around the corner, and I'm going for the fucking, shot glass, bang. And that was a fun thing to do.
Yeah. I was going to say you had shot glasses in the house, but after everything we've talked about, shot glasses,
we were like a shot glass collection house.
That's the least surprising thing I've heard. Yeah. Of course you did.
Yeah, there were many like sets of glassware. They're like glassware sets for like different like types of different occasions and shit.
Well, yeah, like you would go on vacation, you get a shot glass from that area.
Yeah,
yeah,
100%. He was a big, and I still have him. I have a lot of like Hard Rock Cafe pins.
Whoa, pins.
Pins. They sell, I guess, pins, but I have them like from every fucking city.
But Hard Rock specifically.
Hard Rock Cafe.
Planet Hollywood, no, just Hard Rock.
Just please.
That's Planet Hollywood was the Democrat version of Hard Rock Cafe.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah. And then like the Rainforest Cafe, that was just...
Shout out to it, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Dino Nuggets.
Yeah. Are they still around, Rainforest Cafe?
I think there's one. I recently looked this up for some reason. There's one in
make a road
Animal
trip?
Kingdom. Yeah, I was like, let me do some road dates where there's every Rainforest Cafe.
I mean, it was from my recollection, it was a good time. It was fun.
Oh, that was classy.
Yeah, the Rainforest Cafe. It was just like damp and dark in there, and I remember like the walls and it made
that
were,
sound. It was like
yeah, there was a lot of mist. It felt like you were like in the vegetable aisle at the grocery store. You know what I mean? That's literally
that's exactly what it felt
exactly what it was. You were just the vegetable. They were just misting you. Like, you're in the rainforest.
I always wondered why my parents never wanted to eat there. Now I get it. They're pumping humidity in, and you're in fucking meatloaf.
Yeah. Now that I think of it, it's like, who wants to eat in the Amazon?
No one.
You're eating a chicken sandwich. It's such a bizarre... What a bizarre idea to pitch as a restaurant.
Well,
but
did you... I don't know if you did this. Do you know Mars 2112?
Mars 21...
That was
no.
big.
What's Mars 2112?
It was in Times Square, right across the street from where Caroline's was. It's now Equinox.
Okay.
But it was a Martian-themed restaurant. This was a big deal.
Wow.
You would walk in, they had like a fake spaceship. You would sit down, they played a video, and you'd like shake around.
Nice.
And then they opened up the other door and
nice.
it'd be into the restaurant. Dude, it blew my fucking fat mind.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Why aren't there more gimmick restaurants?
The 90s were filled with
right?
gimmick restaurants.
They why aren't there more of... Why isn't it more of an experience? There's a lot of... I feel like that was the thing you had to have. If your food was kind of shit... You had to give him like a ride or something. You know what I mean?
For real. Like, put some tacky shit on the wall.
You gotta have or just some memorabilia or something, like an Elvis jacket he wore once. Like
yeah,
you need
that's the Hard Rock.
That's the Hard Rock. But Yeah, I mean that was the whole. There's no gimmick restaurants now.
I think the reason is the wealth gap is increasing in this country.
Yeah.
The 90s, the middle class, we had a good middle class.
Strong.
Now, middle class is shrinking. We have poor and rich. Poor don't go there. Rich don't go there.
Right. Well, I think the old people just aren't dying, so there's no transfer of wealth that's happening. You know what I mean? Like these older people
This is a factor of why.
Just holding on to their money. Because I think that was kind of part of it. And just, the rich are just getting exponentially richer and,
and then we're losing out on our themed restaurants.
Yeah.
Or like a ground round. You guys have ground round?
What's ground? I don't know.
Ground round was sick.
What's ground round?
Just a real trashy. It looked like Cheers, but darker.
Okay.
Like a Cheers. It's not Cheers themed, but like that was the aesthetic.
New York thing?
Maybe. I thought it was like a Northeast Mid-Atlantic thing, but I could be wrong, I guess, if you didn't know it.
Ground round.
Ground round was big. We had, do you know Houlihan's?
Yeah, I know Houlihan's.
Yeah, my grandma died, and we had a candlelight vigil at Houlihan's. That's a real thing.
A candlelight vigil at Houlihan's?
Yeah, they put a picture of her up in a candle, and we were eating fucking potato skins, talking about my grandma, who no one really liked.
Oh, my God.
So they're like faking story, like trying to come up with something fake.
A vigil at a Houlihan. That's phenomenal.
And like in the bar section, too. Like they didn't give us a room.
Oh,
we're in the bar section.
And the repast was at Carvel, or just like...
Yeah.
That's amazing. Man, I just had to fucking go to a... You ever have to speak at a funeral?
Not yet.
No? I went... Somebody in my family died, and like... They didn't have any... It was my dad's sister, and there weren't really like a lot of... It's not family on that side anymore, so it's just kind of like friends of...
Yeah.
But my aunt was kind of out of her mind, so my uncle's doing the eulogies, speaking, and then he's like, if anyone else would like to say something, and there's like a good 6-7 second beat, and I'm like, nobody's getting up.
I gotta.
Nobody's getting. My mom's.
I have my notebook on
my
me.
mom's nudging me. Yeah, she's like, you gotta get up, and I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, I don't really want to riff a eulogy right now, but I got up there. I mean, I felt like I was just rambling. I felt like I was just bombing. And then that's an easy room. That's an easy room to do well in.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know about that, but okay.
Where it's like there's so much tension, so there's multiple opportunities to pop the tension. But I had nothing. I had nothing.
You had nothing to start, like light a spark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought anything through, so I'm just rambling. There's so many likes and ums. I'm looking off. I wasn't in the pocket.
You're up there. You're like, so yeah, these girls now on these apps.
I just go into my act.
They say they want a guy who's mysterious. And, but yeah, he's finding the Joker. Like, all right,
I'm just doing
I'm doing A material up here, folks. If you don't like this.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do her favorite 5 minutes.
Is that okay?
What her favorite
Start
5
doing
minutes?
Prior.
I take the mic out of the stand. I'm walking there.
You
I'm walking
do crowd
back and
work?
forth.
Yeah. So how did you know her?
Yeah. How'd you know? Oh, what's this threesome over here, huh?
You guys all come together. Cool. You worked with her? What'd you do?
What do you do? Oh man, it's no real jobs anymore.
You set up a camera in the back.
Oh yeah, that's my next clip. It's coming out. Stay tuned. Yeah, but it was fucking brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Like, why would your mom put you in that position?
I mean, I think she just felt as uncomfortable as I did, and she wasn't gonna go up. That happens a lot to me. If there's like a place where somebody needs to speak, and like people just think because you do like, oh, you'll nail it. You speak all the time, so this will go fine.
Yeah, you're talking to a microphone a lot,
right?
So you could do it.
They think it's
in this context.
Yeah, this is totally the same. It's like no, I go up there and I say inappropriate things for laughter. I'm like, how does this translate at all?
Yeah. Why they don't get that?
Yeah. So a lot of it is just me up there trying not to say something stupid,
My my sister's getting married next summer, and they like brought up the idea of me doing the what's it called? When you're
Officiating?
the officiant, and I was like, I wouldn't recommend me doing that.
I've done it twice.
You've done it twice.
I've done it twice, and it's I think it's more work than the person who's asking you realizes it is.
I have a buddy who's done it for like a lot of our friends' weddings.
Yeah.
And he's like, he like has a spreadsheet.
That's the thing. It's like to do well. Luciano just did it at
That's
once,
true.
and he did a very good job. But it's like it's a lot of pressure because, especially as a comic, people are expecting you to be funny, but it's also you can't just go up there and do bits the whole time because you have to be sincere. It's sincere. You know, the wife is like this is her big day. You know what I mean? She doesn't want you to just make a mockery of it.
Right.
So it's hard to like ride that line of doing bits, but also with love and all that shit. And yeah, I've done it twice, and it's never like I'm so glad when it's over. It's
and it's long. It's longer than you think.
It's longer than you got to do. You know, you're doing like 10 minutes maybe at the least. Up there, and there's like all these different parts that you got to hit.
There's no host.
You're going up there cold. You're going up there cold. I did one for my buddy, and like his mom is like, "You're gonna like roast us, right?" I'm like,
"What?
No.
What are we doing? What?"
She's like, "You're gonna like roast us," and it fucked with me. It got in my head because I went up there and I'm like, I wasn't getting pops, and so I just went. And there was a guy in the front row with like a Hawaiian shirt on.
Imagine a fish. Wait. Where was that? I had a question. I'm going to back up. Where was this wedding?
This is in Maryland.
He had a Hawaiian shirt on.
He had a Hawaiian shirt and flip-flops on.
Where? Were you on the beach?
No, we were not.
Okay.
And that's what, I'm like, who can I make fun of? But the thing is like, this is how trash this family was like, they didn't recognize... It didn't get a laugh
like
because
that's nice.
Yeah, they were like, I wore my best Hawaiian shirt for this shit. You know,
this is Tommy Bahama.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was like the bride's like, it was like the father of the bride.
No way.
I swear to God.
That's what he wore to his daughter's wedding, a Hawaiian shirt and flip flops.
Hawaiian shirt and flip flops, and I was like, thanks for wearing your best Hawaiian shirt, and it got like uncomfortable because people were like. Yeah, and
you look over, she's wearing a Hawaiian shirt too.
She's got one under the dress. She's like, this thing's coming off.
It's a family tradition. This is my grandmother's.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, you can't. It's hard to roast somebody you don't know without just coming off as mean.
Like, what was your relation to the groom?
We grew up together.
Like, are you like best friends?
I wouldn't say we were like. Best friend. We didn't see each other that often, but one of the longest friendships that I had.
Okay.
And I think he had a similar thing of like he does like he'd be perfect as an officiant, and it's also tough like when you're really close with somebody like the groom and you kind of know the bride because you want to balance it out.
Did you? Yeah, I guess how many times did you hang out with her if you ever did?
I mean, it would be like in passing, when
it's not good.
It's not good. So I didn't know like a ton about her, like how they met. Yeah, it was not.
Wait, you didn't know how they met?
No. I don't
so how did you prepare for this?
I prepared I gave a lot of backstory on like my buddy and I, like us growing up and then I kind of made fun of him for a little bit, and then I was like, and that's how I knew he needed somebody special, and then when I met blah, 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 I knew, that whole bullshit.
You did more of a best man speech than an officiant.
Sure, yeah. Okay. For the opening, before you get into all like the legal, the I do's and the declaration of intents and all that other bullshit. Yeah. You gotta give like some kind of story or something for these people. You gotta give them a show.
You got to razzle dazzle.
You gotta razzle dazzle them a little bit. But it's a lot of fucking work and pressure.
It's a ton of pressure.
Yeah, so you're right good on you for saying no.
Well, they were like, because it's like my sister has 8. I don't know what the actual number is. My sister has 8 bridesmaids, so he needs 8 groomsmen.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I have 9 I could have. He's like, well, if one kid says yes, you might need to officiate. And I was like, I wouldn't. That's an even worse way of making me an officiant.
Yeah.
Is by mathematically eliminating me from the one side and putting me in the middle.
You got it. Now you got to work.
Right.
Because that's what it is. You're working the wedding.
You're working. Right. They should. Well, I guess you can't hire someone for this.
Which I think people don't want to do because it seems
They
like
want someone close.
They want somebody close, but professional officiants, they crush. They crush it. That's all they do.
I don't want an officiant to do stand-up. I don't want a stand-up to be an officiant.
Exactly. Officiants, they know how to get pops
Yes.
at a wedding. And they go in and out. They'll go off script. Like, because they've done 1,000.
Oh, they could riff so easily.
They got a million different, like, what do you want, a religious one? Boom.
Yep.
They got a religious one. Do you want something lighthearted, or do you want what? They got every kind of version of an officiant speech that you want.
Yes.
Because, I mean, heavy. I mean, I plagiarized many officiants. You're just going on YouTube, like, best officiant speech of all time.
That's my plan.
Yeah, best officiant speech of all time. And you rip. I rip from like 10 different videos, and then you put it into a document, and you kind of just whittle down.
Yeah, you do it the Seinfeld way.
Yeah.
And
then
you just visualize it. Word economy.
Word economy. I'm like, all right, well, how's the flow on this?
What's the deal with marriage?
What is marriage? Yeah.
You donate to Israel. All right.
They start booing me.
Yeah, they start heckling you.
You're back. Have you seen those videos of him getting?
Yeah.
It's I don't understand it. Did he say anything, or is it just because he's Jewish?
We'll get into it on the Patreon.